Okay, here we are, Matthew Russell Lee, Inner City Press, here at the Southern District of New York Courthouse, today, January 12th, 2026. On the Maduro front, we've been covering it closely because it brings together the SDNY, the MDC, and of course the United Nations, which was failed for years on Venezuela, as it has on Iran and many other topics. But Bruce Fine, the lawyer who filed the notice of appearance, has explained himself. Mr. Pollack, the actual first and formal lawyer for Maduro, tried to strike him and get him out of the case. He said he was contacted by people close to Maduro, that he was wanted, and he's asking Judge Hellerstein to do an inquiry into who Maduro wants. That'll be interesting because that inquiry probably would have to take place over here, and this street would be filled once again with police bringing him over by helicopter and other means. So it may not happen, and I don't know what's going to happen with Mr. Bruce Fine. We'll have to see. On Friday, we did cover Luigi Mangione's federal proceeding, and live tweeted it. The upshot, it was a very legalistic argument about the applicable statute of stalking and what was a crime of violence. Basically, Judge Garnett will decide in writing at some undefined date, and then they'll come up with a schedule. A trial either in September or in January 2027 if the death penalty remains on the table, which it might not, honestly. We'll see. We'll see. If it does, the Congress... the way that they amended the stalking statute and added in support animals and stuff like that has caused some chaos. Now, we're going to turn today, actually, there could be the opening of the trial, or there could be an adjournment and a settlement. I don't know. I was trying to cover it last week. This is Dixon versus L.A. Reid. Thursday and Friday, we were in front of it, thrown out of the courtroom twice. Not thrown out physically, but it was sealed. We've done a letter to get stuff unsealed. There's a lot of unclarity in this case. I understand in sexual abuse cases that there is some stuff that should be withheld, but far too much is being withheld in this case, I'll say. Because you can't do whole filings, just redact stuff, as is taking place in the Alexander's matter. In any event, we have a big financial news here. It's beyond just any particular bank. It's systemic. Let's wait a moment. And here's what it is. The Federal Reserve, have you heard of them? They're in the news. Joe Rampo put out a video. Fed independence, absolutely. But what about independence from the banks? We've discovered, and it came about in Fulton Financial. They're buying something called Blue Foundry. Fair Finance Watch commented in December 8th. December 23rd, Fulton Financial applied to the Fed, and the Federal Reserve Bank of Philadelphia sent a copy of the application, but that's it. Well, it turns out, we learned on January 7th, finally checked it out over the weekend when we do a lot of this work, that they asked them about branch closures, but that Fulton Financial said everything's confidential, even the timing on which we'll decide. Totally contrary to Fifth Third, where we got the list of the 80 branches and was covered all over the place, particularly in Michigan. So we learned that Fulton Financial is in fact on the board of directors of the Federal Reserve Bank of Philadelphia. So how can that entity be the one deciding who gets sent copies of the additional information letter and what can be withheld? They also approve mergers generally unless they're protested, which most are not. So, we have submitted a FOIA to the Fed about all banks on Federal Reserve Bank's board of directors, and these include many banks. You'll find it. You find the article. Rather than many of them who've recently gotten approvals or had the duty to apply waived. Cathay Bank is one. We can run through a number of them, but you'll find them, and we're going to wait for that. And this is a new project. So too with the United Nations. We continue, even while banned, to have scoops. Over the weekend, we published the memo on the proposed or mulled merging of UNFPA and UN Women. The report says don't do it, but the staff who wrote and leaked to Inner City Press say that Amina J. Mohammed wants to do it. She's already got her cronies in place to cement her legacy of waste and censorship at the United Nations. Antonio Guterres, a fish rots from the head. We're still banned, but we report, and we will not cease. To be continued.